Hi, I'm Molly Knight Forde, and I want to talk to you about energy. We all work with energy. It has an effect upon us. And how we work with transformational processes and inner work depends on energy and also affects the energy at play. So, what is energy? We can think of it as movement or different states of matter. Everything from planet Earth to the chair I sit on to the sound waves that you hear coming at you through this video has energy. And the things that we can do, there are practices that will affect the energy in your life. And that energy has the potential to refine. And when an energy upgrades, it's as if your frequency is changing, and different things can change for how you make decisions. It affects how you live your life. It affects what you're able to do. So sometimes we feel like we just don't have enough energy to get up in the morning, a kind of vital energy. We may be having ill health. We may be having a virus or bacteria that's affecting our lives. And it zaps our vital energy. We can think of vital energy as what makes our body and our mind tick. We don't have to tell our heart to beat. We don't have to tell our muscles to work or to produce lactic acid when we've had lots of exercise, or how to heal a cut. It's all working on vital energy. It doesn't really take any kind of consciousness from us. Our body runs on vital energy. And if we're doing things that are leaking that vital energy, our immune system can go down and we can get very sick. That's one kind of energy. And there are many kinds of energies that are actually below the frequency of vital energy. But more importantly for us is to look at the next grade level up of energy, which is automatic energy. Now, by its very name, automatic energy runs by itself, on itself, without our having to do very much. And most of us on the planet live at the stage of automatic energy. We're not really able to get new impressions about ourselves or have any degree of sensitivity about noticing what's going on. We take life at face value. We feel like we're making choices. We eat and get exercise and run our regular life without any upper level of consciousness. And we can see the results of that when we have lots of negative states, when we self-sabotage, when we can't get ourselves to be motivated, when we can't keep ourselves disciplined, and when we can't really see what's going on with ourselves or with others. So, with transformative practices, meditation, and doing a kind of work that has to do with our attention and self-observation, we upgrade the kind of energy that begins to work in us. And suddenly, with small little daily efforts, we begin to see that something is happening to us. We are able to much more easily see the different conflicting parts in us, whereas before we couldn't. We begin to have enough energy to work on a daily basis without so much effort. And with this higher gradation of energy, this sensitive energy is produced. And sensitive energy starts to bring about objectivity, self-awareness, understanding of our negative states and our fear. And we can begin to see things about our limiting beliefs. We catch ourselves in the act of believing and identifying with our unworthiness or our self-loathing, all the inadequacies that we may know aren't true, but we act anyway under the belief that it is. But sensitive energy starts to enable us to see something that we couldn't see before. And it only takes a small bit of effort, consistent effort, with certain tools that I teach in my courses, in my one-on-ones, in my private groups, and group work at our retreats. We're working on the kind of tools that refine our attention, that expand our awareness, that enable us to upgrade the energy level that works in our lives. And we start to see a kind of traction that we couldn't get with other things. And there are so many ways we can work on ourselves. There are so many practices to get us in our bodies and to integrate our centers. You see, if we're all divided and we remain in our thinking, only a certain kind of energy is under operation. And if we can begin to make the effort of being in our body at the same time through the use of certain awareness tools and sensation, we start to have an integration of two centers. And when we can integrate the thinking and the body, suddenly, after a while, we start to understand what's going on in the emotional center. And with enough sensitive energy, those things begin to integrate so that we have the power to see. An observer starts to be developed, and it makes all the difference in the world. But so many practices do not take us to that level of integrating the centers. So with sensitive energy, we start to realize how our attention is captured by thought, by limiting beliefs, by fears, how our emotions are a feedback loop with our thought and keep us captured in negative states. It's miraculous. And as that starts to happen, it may become easier and easier to see what's really going on in our lives. And we may start to be able to make choices that we couldn't make before. You see, with sensitive energy, we're able to observe ourselves. And if we are able to observe ourselves by the mere quantum relationship between an object and an observer, it changes. So we don't have to fix anything. We don't have to change anything. We don't have to improve ourselves. We simply have to learn how to have our attention honed in, which kicks up the energy level so we can see objectively what's going on with ourselves. That's when things start to feel very different. And we get a sense that there's another kind of energy running my life. Our ability to keep going and make slightly more struggles will again upgrade the energy. And this higher pool of energy, known as conscious energy, begins to bring about real freedom that is permanent. With this kind of work and this kind of energy, things become resolved. We begin to accept what we see. We're able to forgive and integrate in a way that we never thought possible. So that's the story on energy. It's a mysterious thing that acts upon us in life. And if this has interested you and you want to know more, join one of my courses and find out the foundation and the tools for upgrading your energy. Take care.